Hey everyone! Today we're diving into one of the biggest what-ifs in the MonsterVerse. What if Mothra never sacrificed herself in Godzilla, King of the Monsters? Would the battle against King Ghidorah have gone differently? Would the entire fate of the Titans have changed? Buckle up, because we're about to explore a world where the Queen of the Monsters stayed in the fight. First, let's recap what actually happened. In King of the Monsters, Mothra makes the ultimate sacrifice to save Godzilla. After he's nearly killed by the oxygen destroyer, she intervenes during his battle with Ghidorah in Boston, healing him with her bioluminescent energy. But in doing so, she leaves herself defenseless, and Ghidorah strikes her down. Her death isn't in vain, though. Godzilla, supercharged by her power, goes burning Godzilla and annihilates Ghidorah once and for all. But what if things went differently? What if Mothra didn't sacrifice herself? Let's break it down. Without Mothra's energy, Godzilla doesn't go burning mode. That means no nuclear pulse to disintegrate Ghidorah, so how does the battle play out? Well, Godzilla was already losing before Mothra stepped in. Ghidorah had the upper hand with his regeneration, flight, and sheer brutality. Without Mothra's boost, Godzilla might have been killed for good. But let's say Godzilla holds on, barely. The military did have the Orca to distract Ghidorah. Maybe they lure him away, buying time for another plan. But without Mothra's power, the odds are not in Godzilla's favor. Now, if Mothra doesn't sacrifice herself, she's still in the fight, and that's huge. Remember, she's not just a healer, she's a warrior. In their tag team battle in the movie, she blinds Ghidorah, dodges his attacks, and even stabs him with her stinger. If she stays alive, she could keep harassing Ghidorah, giving Godzilla openings to strike. A 2-on-1 fight is always better than a 1-on-1. Maybe together, they wear Ghidorah down enough for a killing blow, without needing burning mode. Here's another thing. Ghidorah's dominance over the other Titans relies on fear. If Mothra lives, she's still the queen, and her presence could inspire other Titans to resist him. In the movie, Rodan submits to Ghidorah after losing to him. But if Mothra is still around, maybe she rallies Rodan or even other Titans to help against Ghidorah. Mothra's sacrifice in King of the Monsters is not just a turning point for the characters, but a powerful moment that represents her selflessness. Throughout the movie, Mothra is portrayed as a nurturing protector, aligning herself with Godzilla due to a deeper cosmic connection. When Ghidorah, the three-headed dragon, proves to be an overwhelming force, Mothra intervenes, giving Godzilla a much-needed boost by transferring her energy to him. This ultimately helps Godzilla unleash a devastating attack on Ghidorah, leading to his victory. Without Mothra's intervention, the fate of Godzilla and the entire planet could have been drastically different. If Mothra had not sacrificed herself, the immediate aftermath of the final battle would have shifted dramatically. Without her boost, Godzilla would have been at a severe disadvantage. Ghidorah's energy beams and storm-based powers were overwhelming, and Godzilla, despite his immense strength and regenerative capabilities, was visibly struggling. The battle would have likely continued longer, and without Mothra's interference, Godzilla might have been defeated or incapacitated, allowing Ghidorah to continue his reign of terror. The balance of power in the MonsterVerse would have tilted in Ghidorah's favor, making Godzilla's role as Earth's protector even more uncertain. There's a strong possibility that the battle would have ended in catastrophe for humanity and the planet. If Mothra survives King of the Monsters, the entire Godzilla vs. Kong movie changes. For starters, Godzilla isn't the sole alpha. Mothra is still there, possibly ruling alongside him. That means no rogue Godzilla attacking cities in GVK, because Mothra could keep him in check. And what about Mechagodzilla? In GVK, Ghidorah's consciousness in Mechagodzilla is a big twist. But if Ghidorah's defeat was different, say, Mothra helped destroy his last head, maybe his remnant isn't intact enough to possess Mechagodzilla. No evil AI Ghidorah means a very different final battle. Looking ahead, a living Mothra opens up wild possibilities. Maybe she becomes humanity's primary protector while Godzilla deals with bigger threats. Or maybe she's the key to uniting more Titans against future enemies, like Destroya or Space Godzilla. Plus, we could have gotten an actual Mothra solo movie. Imagine a MonsterVerse film where she defends Infant Island or battles a new foe. The possibilities are endless. In a world where Mothra never sacrificed herself, the larger dynamics between the Titans would also be altered. Mothra's death symbolized more than just her own sacrifice. It also represented the fragile balance between Godzilla and the other Titans. Mothra was often seen as a counterbalance to Godzilla's sometimes more aggressive nature. She had the power to calm the other titans and, at times, even redirect their destructive tendencies. Without Mothra's peaceful influence, the other titans might not have aligned with Godzilla. We could have seen a fractured titan ecosystem, with creatures like Rodan potentially challenging Godzilla's authority, or even siding with Ghidorah if the three-headed dragon's influence over the titans was stronger. Rodan's complicated relationship with Godzilla is an example of how the power dynamics could change. While Godzilla and Rodan share a mutual respect, their rivalry is also evident. Without Mothra's mediating presence, Rodan might have become more of a direct threat to Godzilla, complicating the battle even further. The Titans' relationships with one another might have shifted to a more hostile and less cooperative stance, ultimately leading to chaos among the kaiju and humanity alike. This would create a more fragmented Titan society, one in which Godzilla might have struggled to maintain dominance. Moreover, Mothra's survival could have influenced future kaiju battles. In the MonsterVerse, Mothra is portrayed as a guardian of balance, but her death signals a shift toward more aggressive, destructive conflicts. If Mothra had survived, there might have been more opportunities for peaceful resolutions between the Titans and humanity. Mothra could have played a central role in keeping the Titans in check, preventing them from wreaking havoc on human civilization. In this alternate scenario, Godzilla might not have been forced to constantly fight for dominance, and the Titans' role on Earth could have been more focused on coexistence rather than endless battles for control. This would drastically alter the trajectory of the series, possibly leading to a more harmonious future for the kaiju and humans. But the most significant change would likely be seen in Godzilla's character development. Throughout the MonsterVerse, Godzilla has been portrayed as a reluctant protector. His connection to Mothra, which is partly built on a sense of mutual respect and shared purpose, helps to humanize him and gives him a deeper emotional connection to Earth. Without Mothra's sacrifice, Godzilla might have evolved into a more isolated figure, lacking the moral support of his spiritual counterpart. Godzilla's leadership of the Titans could have faltered, as his relationships with the other kaiju would likely have been strained without Mothra's calming influence. We could have seen a more wrathful, less strategic Godzilla, one who fights without the guidance of his longtime ally. So, would the MonsterVerse be better if Mothra lived? Absolutely. Her survival means a stronger Godzilla, a more balanced Titan hierarchy, and way more epic team-ups. But her sacrifice? That's what made her a legend. Still, it's fun to imagine a world where she stayed in the fight. Without Mothra's death, Monarch's role would also be significantly different. Instead of dealing with the aftermath of her passing, the organization could have worked to understand her deeper significance to Godzilla and the other Titans. This would have changed the way Monarch interacted with the kaiju moving forward, potentially allowing for a stronger alliance between the humans and the Titans. Monarch's approach to dealing with the Titans might have shifted from a militaristic stance to one more focused on understanding and cooperation. They could have helped orchestrate a more peaceful resolution to the tensions between the kaiju and the human world, leading to fewer destructive battles in the future. Ultimately, Mothra's survival would have impacted not just the events of Godzilla, King of the Monsters, but also the future of the MonsterVerse. We may have seen a greater emphasis on cooperation between the Titans, with Godzilla, Mothra, and possibly even other kaiju forming an alliance to protect Earth from larger threats. The thematic exploration of balance, unity, and understanding could have been explored in greater depth, leading to a more nuanced approach to the kaiju conflicts. Mothra's sacrifice was a turning point for both the MonsterVerse and the characters within it. Her selfless act allowed Godzilla to defeat Ghidorah and helped restore balance to the world. What do you think? Should Mothra have lived? How would you rewrite the story? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more MonsterVerse breakdowns. Until next time, stay legendary.